I want to ask you a question. What does it take to set the country on fire? Viewers, the Supreme Court in one case told us that a loose tongue is enough to set the nation on fire. A loose tongue, viewers, keep that in mind, a loose tongue. As I tell you about the fairness of our justice system and why it feels shaky sometimes. Just yesterday, and mark the date, September 16, 2025, the Chief Justice of India, B.R. Gavai, hurt many people with a comment that stings. He turned down a plea to fix a broken Lord Vishnu idol at Khajuraho's Javari temple and said, and I'm quoting, "Go and ask the deity itself to do something," unquote. This remark has made a lot of people sad and angry, and they have every right to feel that way. Viewers, just last month, the Supreme Court carefully ordered the ASI, the Archaeological Survey of India, to repair the Ashitalla Dargah and the Chilaga of Baba Farid in Delhi without suggesting that anyone should go and pray to the graves for help. Viewers, let's talk about this unfairness. Just imagine someone full of love for their temple goes to the highest court for help only to be met with a laugh that to many echoes with disrespect. Yet when it's about fixing a dargah, mosque or church, there's no insensitivity, and there should not be. So when sentiments that seek the restoration of an idol are mocked, does it not break the trust of a nation that values all its people, viewers? Is that not a fair question to ask? This is a reminder of how words from the highest benches can hurt sentiments. Viewers, let's be clear about one thing. Being addressed as lordships does not grant judges the license to ridicule gods and goddesses of any faith. The Hindu faith is strong, but there is already a sentiment prevailing in our country that the faith is being taken for granted, that the institutions of the state have been keen to regulate what Hindus value, but not so much the other communities. Thousands of temples are under the control of the state in different parts of the country. Now, grief for Tamil Nadu, where the state earns thousands of crores from Hindu temples every year while mosques and churches are left alone. Grief for those whose religious rights have been curtailed due to the Places of Worship Act that Dr. Ranganathan was mentioning just a while ago, and cannot even file cases in court to reclaim temples that were either converted or destroyed. Grieve, viewers, for the discrimination embedded in codifying Hindu personal laws in the name of modernization and progress, but not touching the Muslim personal laws. These are not small issues. They are a steady loss to the Hindu pride that calls for introspection, if not tears and action. Viewers, this can't be called fairness. Amid all this, the judiciary's job is to treat everyone the same, not to make fun of one group. The symbol of justice is a balanced scale, not one that tips against Hindus. CJI Gavai's words makes me humbly ask you, if the top court can joke about a faith, how can we trust it, viewers? The petitioner said this ruling felt painful, and that's a real cry for respect we can't ignore. Would you call this justice, viewers? This is a disparity that risks deepening divides when words from the bench carry such heavy consequences. I'm sure you would remember how courts behave when court's own honor is at stake, how swiftly the judiciary invokes contempt when its dignity is questioned. There are many examples. I don't want to get into that. The court guards its own respect with a fierce hand, but here ridiculing a faith's sacred symbols goes unchallenged. Is this not contempt of the deepest kind, wounding the soul of a community? And if not, has the court set a troubling new standard where mocking the divine becomes acceptable, leaving us to wonder if justice has lost its way? Viewers, this is not about politics. This is very simply about what's right for everyone. Everyone. The judiciary should reflect India's mix of cultures, not dim one faith's light while brightening others. We, the people of this country, ask the Supreme Court to face this unfairness with courage. They may not give a ruling to fix the broken idol. That's okay. It's their prerogative. That is for them to determine based on the facts of each case. But please don't mock someone's belief. They should not break the trust of the people in our justice system, because that would mean breaking the Constitution's promise of equality. Without any delay, let me introduce Vishnu Shankar Jain. He's joining us, Ratan Sharda on the panel. Dr. Ranganathan and Harshvardhan ji continue. Vishnu Shankar Jain, to you first. What do you make of the remarks?
Yeah, this is not the first time that we are hearing such kind of remarks. And let me tell you that it is very painful and very, very disturbing. I must, and you all must recollect that when an issue of Shiv Temple was there in Delhi High Court, the Delhi High Court commented that Lord Shiv does not need our protection. The matter traveled to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court also upheld the order of the Delhi High Court. When it came to Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra, if you recollect in 2020, the Rath Yatra was stalled by the Supreme Court saying that Lord Jagannath will forgive us. When it came to the issue of Hindu endowments, in 2013, the Supreme Court had issued notice so far as the constitutional validity of Hindu endowments are concerned in 4 states where the Hindu temples are taken over by the state government. But recently, in 2025, after wait of 12 years, the Supreme Court asked the Hindu petitioners to go back to the High Court. So there is judicial discrimination which is happening. And very important point I want to highlight, that these judges who are sitting on the Supreme Court as judges of the Supreme Court, as judges of the High Court, their conduct must be seen after retirement. Let me give you a recent example. My Lord Honorable Mr. Justice Muralidhar, who was the Chief Justice of Odisha High Court. He launched a program in Delhi, and on the background, you know Pranesh, who was there? Umar Khalid. And who was sitting on the dais? Justice Oka. Who was sitting in the front? Justice Rishikesh Roy of the Supreme Court, retired judges of the High Court, sitting judges of the Delhi High Court, and they were pondering together that why Umar Khalid is not given bail. So the question is that if before such kind of judges, when they were occupying power, when they were occupying possession, if we go and make our arguments for a deity, these are the comments which
I understand the larger point you're making, Vishnu Shankar Jain, but we are not in the business of ascribing, motives to the judges. That's not what we are trying to do. We are only discussing.
No, Pranesh, this is an ecosystem.
Yeah.
Please try to understand.
It's the ecosystem. Yes.
There's an ecosystem, there's a mindset which is working. And
Right.
that's why these comments are not new.
Right.
Because you are mocking the faith of a believer.
Okay. So
Can
you see a pattern here. Ratan Sharda, how do you see this, sir?
A lawyer friend of mine used to say that within the 4 walls of court, whether it's a civil court or small causes court or Supreme Court, judge considers himself as God. So every word of his has to be obeyed, or they can throw contempt of court at you. Having said that you are God of those 4 walls, does it mean you start behaving like a demigod and you can throw words at anybody? Does Mr. Gavai realize that it is the majority Hindu which has guaranteed secular constitution and secular behavior in the social spaces, but he can throw barbs at Hindus? The case was superfluous. Case could have been easily dismissed, but to then say Bhagwan Vishnu ko bol do, did he say to Gyanvapi petitioners कि भगवान अल्लाह को बोल दो कि आप हिंदुओं को रोक रहे हो वहां पर सर्वे करने के लिए? Did he say in Sambal that why are you stopping the survey because Allah will take care of your masjid? Why are you worried about temple under the mosque? He didn't say that. So Nupur Sharma makes a note from the scripture. She is called, you are the reason for all this ill will, all these riots in the country, and you must suffer. And she's suffering for years together. But the judges can say anything because Hindus don't get into violent mode. And this disrespect for a community which is law-abiding, which goes to court everything. Imagine an Islamic country where Ram Mandir, suppose there is Allah's Mandir there somewhere, Allah's mosque there. Could you imagine Muslims waiting for 500 years of justice? Can you imagine Hindus fighting a case in court for 120 years? We have respect for judiciary, but does it have a respect for the people? That is the
Dr.
question.
Ranganathan, there have been instances in the past when you see contempt has been invoked by the justices. Justice Subramaniam of the Madras High Court, this was in 2020. He said judicial system criticized in bad state, devotion of honorable judges undermined. Then you have Justice Sanjay Kaul, this was in 2020. Imputations against courts damaging, boundaries need to be maintained. And look what's happening now. the case could have been dismissed. But why these remarks?
Yes, Pranesh, there are two issues I'd like to elaborate on. The second one, of course, deals with what the learned judge said. But the first one deals with my younger and elder brother, specifically my younger brother, my dearest Vishnu Jain ji. मैं उनसे नहीं कह रहा, मैं उनके थ्रू देश से कह रहा हूं कि कब तक ये कहते रहोगे इकोसिस्टम उनका है। 11 साल से कौन है सरकार में? कब तक ये कहते रहोगे कि सरकार हमारी है, सिस्टम उनका है, पावर उनके पास है असली? कब तक कहते रहोगे? आखिर में गलती किसकी है? आखिर में कौन लॉ मिनिस्टर खड़ा हुआ बोला कि ये क्या गलत बोल रहे हैं? नाउ लेट मी कम टू दैट ब्रूटल ट्रूथ. Pranesh, if the Chief Justice had said to an aggrieved Muslim asking for a mosque containing the revered Prophet's relic to be restored as what happened 60 years ago, go ask your Allah or your Prophet to do something, go pray to them. You know, there'd be a million calls for Sar Tan Se Juda. But the fact is, it is easy to abuse and mock Hindus. They don't behead transgressors. Their politicians don't stand for them. Their government doesn't stand for them. They prefer silence. But let this shameful episode not make you believe, Pranesh, that the Supreme Court is acting against the Hindus for the first time. Absolutely not. Let me give you some clear-cut instances where the Supreme Court, in overlooking as well as overseeing blatant discrimination against the Hindus, not only seeded resentment, it actually stoked the possibility of religious wars in this country. Number one, Kashmiri Hindus. Supreme Court refused to open the case of criminality in 1990 against the Kashmiri Hindus, saying, quote, too much time had elapsed. This after the same Supreme Court continued an SIT to look into the cases of criminality in 1984 against the Sikhs that happened 6 years before the Kashmir Hindu genocide. If this is not seeding resentment among Hindus and stoking religious wars, what is? Let me not talk about the Waqf Act. Let me not talk about the state control of temples. Let me not talk about the RTE. Let me not talk about the free speech. You rush in to call any speech against Islam as hate speech, but call hate speech against Hinduism as any speech. Is this not seeding resentment? What about Hindu ritualistic practices? Animal sacrifice is banned for Hindus, but halal is allowed for Muslims, even though both are religious rituals. Places of Worship Act, Sabrimala judgment, there are many Hindu temples where the men are barred entry. So was it discrimination or perceived discrimination? CIA protests, Shaheen Bagh, anti-CA protests resulted in terrible Delhi riots. But the blockade, blatant illegality of it, Supreme Court allowed it despite recognizing illegality. So let's not talk about this happening for the first time.
हर्षवर्धन जी, इस एक रिमार्क से जो एक डिबेट है सोशल मीडिया पे भी चल रही है, कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं कि ये कैंपेन है, जजेस को टारगेट किया जा रहा है, उनका प्रेरोगेटिव है जो वो बोलना चाहें, वो पिटिशन फ्रिवलस था, और ये जो अदर साइड आपने सुना।
ठीक है प्रणेश, मुझे तो लगता है ना कि जो उदार हिंदू है जिसने 500 वर्षों तक संघर्ष किया सिर्फ ये बताने के लिए कि नहीं राम जी का मंदिर यहीं बनेगा, वो जो उदार हिंदू है जिसके लिए इस देश की सरकार ने प्लेसेज ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट लागू कर दिया कि भाई देखो ऐसा है, तुम्हारा मंदिर अगर किसी ने तोड़ दिया है तो तुम उसको मत मांगो। कहां तक जाकर हम ये सब बर्दाश्त करेंगे? और अब इसके आगे की बात मैं जो कह रहा हूं, ये ठीक बात है कि जो कुछ है, गुस्सा है, नाराजगी है। आप सोशल मीडिया पर डिबेट देख रहे हैं, कहा जा रहा है कि वो तो बौद्ध हैं, सीजेआई। क्या इस देश के मुख्य न्यायाधीश के ऊपर इस तरह की चर्चा हो और उसके बाद वो कुर्सी पर रहेंगे तो किस तरह की उनके जुडिशियल एक तरह से जो भी इंटरवेंशन वो करेंगे, क्या हम उसको कैसे देखेंगे? फिर क्या बौद्ध होने की वजह से ये आया जो सोशल मीडिया की डिबेट है? और क्या हिंदू तो बौद्ध को, गौतम बुद्ध को भगवान मानता है? हम सबकी आस्था का सम्मान करते हैं, ये देश है ही इसीलिए। लेकिन सवाल ये कि क्या हर बात पर, और मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, कई लोगों ने ये कहा है कि क्या चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया को माफी नहीं मांगनी चाहिए थी, और अगर वो नहीं माफी मांग रहे हैं तो क्या सरकार को, राष्ट्रपति महोदय को इसमें दखल नहीं देना चाहिए? मुझे लगता है सबसे बड़ा सवाल ये है। इसके अलावा जो कुछ है, हमारा गुस्सा हो, हम कुछ बोले, कौन हिंदू आज दुखी नहीं हुआ होगा? आप ये कह रहे हैं कि जाके भगवान से प्रार्थना कर लो, उससे कह दो, तो क्यों है? कोई भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्यों है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट क्यों है, हाई कोर्ट क्यों है? हम तो इसीलिए है ना कि संविधान के दायरे में कोई किसी की आस्था के साथ खिलवाड़ करे, मजाक बनाए, हंसी बनाए, तो हम न्यायाधीश के पास पहुंचेंगे। और अगर न्यायाधीश हंसी बना दे, तो वो मजाक करने लगे, तो वो हमें अपमानित करने लगे, तो इस सवाल का जवाब खोजना पड़ेगा हमें अपने इस लोकतांत्रिक ढांचे के भीतर, संवैधानिक ढांचे के भीतर। सबसे बड़ा सवाल यही है।
विष्णु जैन जी, ये इस सवाल का जवाब कहां से आएगा, कौन देगा, कब तक आएगा?
सी प्रणेश, द इश्यू इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। जो अभी हमारे सीजीआई ने कहा है वो इश्यू तो है ही है, पर मैं आज आपके शो में जो बात हाईलाइट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं उस मूल बात को समझिए, वो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है। अब जैसे आज यहाँ पे बात है, अभी मैं आपको एक उदाहरण देना चाहता हूँ। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के एक रिटायर्ड जज रहे जस्टिस रोहिंटन नरीमन, उन्होंने अभी एक फाउंडेशन में एक लेक्चर दिया और उन्होंने पूरे सुप्रीम कोर्ट के राम मंदिर के जजमेंट की गलत व्याख्या की और उन्होंने ये कहा कि ये सारे मुकदमे ज्ञानव्यापी के, काशी के, मथुरा के चल ही कैसे सकते हैं, इसको स्टे कर देना चाहिए। और 12 दिसंबर को सुप्रीम कोर्ट की 3 जजेस की पीठ ने अचानक बिना कोई सुनवाई के, बिना पेटिशनर्स की सुनवाई के सारे केसेस में रोक लगा दी। पिछले करीब 9 महीने से लगातार हम लोग स्टे वेकेशन की एप्लीकेशन दे रहे हैं, उसकी कोई सुनवाई नहीं हो रही है। किससे जाके कहे? भगवान से जाके कहे? क्या ज्ञानव्यापी में भगवान शिव से जाके कहे? किससे कहे? तो आज बात ये हो रही है कि जो जुडिशियल, आप मेरी बात को समझिए, और मैं आनंद रंगनाथन जी से भी कहना चाहता हूं, जो मैं इकोसिस्टम की बात कर रहा हूं, ऐसा नहीं है दैट वी आर वीक ऑन लॉ और वी आर वीक ऑन रिसर्च, पर जब आपको पेंट किया जा रहा है एक ब्रश से और आपकी रिसर्च को सेटिसाइड किया जा रहा है, आपको सुना ही नहीं जा रहा है, तो वहां पे इश्यू आ रहा है। अब बात करते हैं इस मंदिर की, ये जो इश्यू था, मैं आपके सामने 2 फैक्ट्स रखता हूं। आपने अपने इस डिबेट में कहा कि ये पिटीशन रिजेक्ट कर देते, पिटीशन रिजेक्ट हो ही नहीं सकती प्रणेश। द पॉइंट इज कि आज इस देश में, मैंने इसके ऊपर पूरी रिसर्च की है, 1500 से ऊपर टेंपल्स हैं विच आर अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ एएसआई। अब एएसआई क्या करता है? उन टेंपल्स को लिविंग और नॉन लिविंग टेंपल्स में कैटेगराइज करता है। जिस टेंपल में पूजा नहीं हो रही है उसको कहता है नॉन लिविंग, जिसमें पूजा हो रही है उसको कहता है लिविंग। अब कहीं किसी टेंपल में अगर मूर्ति टूटी हुई है और मैं जाके कहूंगा कि मुझे यहाँ पे पूजा करनी है, एएसआई कहेगा मैं इसको अलाउ नहीं करूंगा, ये नॉन लिविंग टेंपल है, और वहां पे बोर्ड लगा देगा बाहर कि दिस, यहाँ पे अगर कोई मूर्ति को तोड़ेगा तो 1 लाख रुपए का फाइन है। अरे भाई, इट इज सो हिलेरियस। जब मूर्ति ऑलरेडी टूटी हुई है तो वहां पे फर्दर उसको कौन तोड़ेगा?
और हिलेरियस तो मैं आपको बताता हूं क्या है। एक हमारे सीनियर एडवोकेट हैं, उन्होंने ट्विटर पे लिखा है, किसी को रेस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हैं, वो बोल रहे हैं इट इज एंटायरली इन लाइन विद इंटरप्रेटिंग अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रिटन बाय अंबेडकर, इट कास्ट्स अ ड्यूटी टू मेंटेन अ साइंटिफिक टेम्पर. Scientific temper. We don't have time to discuss this further. I'm sorry, Dr. Ranganathan, but I hope the CGI regrets what he said or makes a statement only because many people are hurt by what he said. This is not about the case so much, only by the remarks. I thank all of you for joining us on India Upfront. The news are with Navita Kumar on the other side.